whenever a firebox is transmitted, any of those red boxes on the street, it will go to the fire alarm office and they'll transmit it out to the corresponding firehouse closest to the box. In this case here, there was a box that came in. This is a signal for the all out on the box about the fire is over. So that's 2, 2, 2, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 7, 2, 4, 1 was the box that came in. It's just numbers. So you'll hear it over the radio for us. Sometimes it'll come in. They'll say striking box 7, 2, 4, 1, and it'll actually beep over the PA system that you can hear there, and it will transmit on this. And then we have computers on both the engine and the truck, and they'll both come up on that.
We got there at the very early stages because of its close proximity to our fire station, and we actually could see heavy smoke going down Center Street. So I actually made that announcement so other companies would understand that we really had a fire. It was not a false alarm. We could see smoke from a distance, and that's usually a little tip-off clue to those other firefighters responding to be ready for action.
Scared to go and you're frightened to stay, and you envy the wallpaper nobody sees. You stand in the hall looking down at your knees alone.
Unfortunately, the building suffered some considerable damage. We saved a lot of property. It could have been a lot worse.
Pass through your head, a grown man on the floor lying under the bed alone.
David Mager, I'm Deputy Chief here, Boston Fire Department. I've been in the fire service for 34 years, 30 years here in Boston, and I've risen through the rank to Deputy Chief in charge of Division 2 now. It calls for fitness and courage. It requires a certain attitude. It doesn't require the knowledge. We'll train you with the knowledge, and you'll learn it over time. But you really need to have the right character, integrity, and attitude as a firefighter.
Everybody's afraid. You know, anybody. It's a canned line. Anybody who says they're not afraid is lying. So it's pretty much a thing. Everybody's got a little bit of fear in the mind, but you know, we're paid to do a job. You know, that's what people expect from us to do. So that's what we do.
We are trusted. They welcome us into their homes when there's an emergency. They trust us with their possessions. They trust us, in many cases, on medical emergencies. They trust us to take care of them or their children, and that is an immense sense of trust that they give us, and it's a big responsibility for us. There was a USA Today study done a few years ago, and their research showed that we were one of the highest regarded professions in the country, and I'm humbled by that.
Boston's kind of a traditional department. I mean, we still use leather fire helmets, other departments use plastic. This is a close firehouse. We all pretty much get along in here. You know, get on your nerves every once in a while, but that's with anything, with any profession. I think if you're around people so often, you get in your little gripes here and there. But yeah, we're pretty much all good friends here. You know, we go out every now and then, hang out together. You know, it's a good house, good tight house.
It's a bond that is really hard for an outsider to imagine. It really is. We get very, very close. We live together, we eat together, we sweat together, we fight fires together, and It's a really close bond. It's really hard for an outsider to understand. We have a camaraderie that is worldwide, and it's the largest fraternity in the world. Over the 30 years, there's been too many to count. They're all my friends, they're all my brothers, but some close friends have died in fires too. To have 343 New York firefighters die in that incident, just needlessly from this murderous act of terrorism. I can't think of any other part of the city that is as unique as Jamaica Plain, with the variety of buildings, from breweries and Victorian buildings. There is a tremendous amount of potential for risk and hazard. One of the things that I love about this fire station is on weekends, especially during the nice weather, it's like an open house on Saturdays and Sundays, where we just throw the door open and say hi to everybody, and they come in and they bring the children in and they look at the fire trucks, and sometimes we put them up in the front seat. I remember asking my mother just before she died, maybe a year or two before she died. She had been married 56 years to my dad when he died, and I said, what is the secret to that longevity? And she said, overlook the little things. To whom much is given, much is expected, and we have to return that favor to the rest of the world, not in the sense of what we can do to the world, but what we can do for the world. I can be at a house party off duty and somebody's got candles too close to the furnishings, and I go ballistic, or their smoke detector is hanging down and then there's no battery in it. I see a lot of these little things, and I'm always a firefighter.
You put your legs around it and usually hook your arm, and you'll slide down and just use that. I mean, you can use your hands, but you don't pick up a lot of speed. Landing, you just, we got these little shock things here, these little rubber pads, but when you hit, you just bounce with your knees. People have been hurt. I mean, accidents happen.